You think buying a TV is simple. Pick a size, pick a brand, pick something that looks good, and that should be enough. Because at the end of the day, it's just a screen, right? That's the assumption most people start with. And it's also the reason most people end up disappointed. Not immediately, not in a way that makes them return the TV the next day, but slowly, subtly, over time. Because the biggest mistakes in buying a TV don't show up in the first hour. They show up after days of use, after weeks of watching, after months of living with something that never quite feels right. And by then, it's no longer a decision. It's something you're stuck with. The first mistake starts before you even look at a TV. It starts with how you think about the purchase. Most people think they're buying a product, but what they are actually buying is an experience, something they will interact with daily, something that becomes part of their environment. And when you treat it like a product, you focus on the wrong things. You look at specs, you compare prices, you chase deals, but you ignore behavior, how the TV actually performs in your space, in your lighting, with your content. And that disconnect is where everything begins. Because what looks good in a showroom doesn't always translate to your living room. Showrooms are controlled environments, bright, perfectly lit, designed to make TVs look their best. Your home isn't like that. Your lighting changes. Your seating position changes. Your usage changes. And if the TV isn't suited for that environment, it won't feel right, even if it's technically a good TV. That's the first shift most people never make. Understanding that context matters more than specs. The second mistake is choosing size based on fear, not logic. People are afraid of going too big. They imagine it will feel overwhelming, too close, too intense. So they go smaller, something that feels safe, comfortable, and at first, it seems fine. But then something happens. They get used to it. And once that happens, the screen starts to feel smaller, less immersive, less engaging. And that's when regret begins. Because unlike brightness or color, size is something you can't adjust. You can't make the screen bigger later. And once you realize you wanted more, it's already too late. On the other side, some people go too big, not because they need it, but because it sounds impressive. And in some cases, that works. But in others, it creates a different problem, especially in smaller spaces, where the viewing distance doesn't match the size, where the image feels overwhelming, where eye movement becomes excessive. And instead of emotion, you get fatigue. So now the same decision, size, can go wrong in both directions, not because of the TV, but because of how it was chosen. The third mistake is misunderstanding resolution. This is one of the biggest traps in 2026, because higher resolution sounds like a clear upgrade. 4K to 8K, more pixels, more detail, better image. That's the assumption. But in reality, resolution only matters under certain conditions. Screen size, viewing distance, content quality. If those don't align, the difference becomes negligible, and in some cases, completely invisible. So people end up paying more for something they can't actually see, and that creates a subtle dissatisfaction, because the expectation doesn't match the experience. And when that happens, the TV feels underwhelming, even if it's technically superior. Another mistake is ignoring brightness. Not peak brightness, real-world brightness. Because TVs don't operate at their maximum all the time. They adjust, they fluctuate, and some struggle to maintain brightness over long periods, especially in bright rooms. So during the day, the image looks washed out, hard to see, less vibrant, and people assume it's normal. That's just how TVs look in daylight. But it's not. It's a limitation, and it becomes frustrating over time, because it affects how often you enjoy your TV, which affects how valuable it feels. Another mistake that's closely connected is ignoring glare, reflections, light interaction. This is something most people don't think about until they see their window reflected on the screen, until they notice lamps, movement, shadows, all interfering with the image. And once you notice it, it becomes impossible to ignore, because now your attention is split between what you're watching and what's reflecting, and that breaks immersion completely. Some TVs handle this better than others. But if you don't consider it before buying, you might end up with something that struggles in your space, which again creates a mismatch. Then there's contrast, something that's talked about a lot, but rarely understood. Because contrast isn't just a number. It's how the TV handles dark and bright areas at the same time. How deep blacks look, how much detail is preserved, and how the image feels overall. Some TVs look impressive in bright scenes, but fall apart in dark ones. Others do the opposite. And if you don't match that behavior to your usage, you end up with something that feels inconsistent, which is one of the worst experiences a TV can deliver. Because inconsistency breaks trust. You don't know what to expect, and that uncertainty affects how you perceive everything. Another mistake is overvaluing smart features, apps, interfaces, built-in systems. These seem important because they are visible, interactive, easy to compare, but they age quickly, much faster than the panel itself. Software slows down, apps stop updating, interfaces become outdated, and suddenly, something that felt modern feels old, while the actual display, the most important part, remains the same. This is why external devices often outperform built-in systems. They are easier to upgrade, replace, maintain, but most people don't think that far ahead. They focus on what's convenient now, not what will last later, and that decision shapes their experience long-term. Another mistake is trusting default settings. Most TVs are not optimized out of the box. They're tuned to look impressive in stores. Bright, vivid, oversaturated, sharp, but not accurate, not balanced, and not comfortable for long viewing. So people use these settings, thinking that's how the TV is supposed to look. And over time, it becomes tiring. Colors feel unnatural, brightness feels harsh, and the overall experience feels off. But since they never change it, they assume that's just how the TV is, which limits what the TV is actually capable of. Another issue is ignoring sound, not because sound is more important than picture, but because it affects the overall experience more than expected. Most TVs have limited audio performance. Thin, flat, lacking depth. And while this might seem acceptable at first, it becomes noticeable over time, especially when watching movies or anything with dynamic audio. And once you notice it, it's hard to ignore, because now the experience feels incomplete. And that affects how you enjoy content, even if the picture is excellent. Another mistake is buying based on brand perception alone, assuming that one brand is always better, always reliable, always the right choice. But in reality, every brand has strengths and weaknesses, different models, different priorities, different trade-offs, and assuming consistency across all of them leads to poor decisions, because you stop evaluating the actual product and rely on assumptions instead. Then there's timing, something that rarely gets considered. When you buy matters, prices fluctuate, models update, features change, and buying at the wrong time can mean paying more for less or missing out on improvements that arrive shortly after. But most people don't think about timing. They buy when they need something, which is understandable, but it also means they might not get the best value, and that adds to the overall regret. Another subtle mistake is ignoring long-term use. Not just how the TV looks today, but how it will feel over time. Will it remain consistent? Will it handle daily use well? Will it still feel good after months? These are harder questions to answer because they go beyond specs, beyond marketing, into real-world behavior. And yet, they are some of the most important, because the TV you buy is something you'll live with, not just admire for a moment. And all of these mistakes share one thing in common. They come from focusing on the wrong signals. Surface-level information, immediate impressions, short-term thinking, instead of long-term experience, real usage, real conditions. And once you shift your focus, everything changes. You start asking better questions. You notice details others ignore. You avoid decisions that seem obvious, but lead to problems later. And most importantly, you become intentional, which is the one thing that prevents almost every mistake. Because buying a TV isn't about finding the best option. It's about avoiding the wrong one. And the difference between those two is everything. Because the right TV doesn't just look good, it feels right. Every time you use it, without effort, without adjustment, without second guessing. And that's what most people are actually looking for. They just don't realize it until they've already made the wrong choice.